I never imagined that all of this would happen. I don't know what brought me to this point. Today's story is about a game that changed my entire life. It all started when I was browsing a dark web forum called Deep Echoes. The forum was full of strange topics like how to hide yourself from the government and banned websites that no one knows about. In an old thread, I found someone named user_x writing a short post. If you want to know the truth, open this link. Beneath it was a strange link, but it wasn't like any other link. It was a jumble of random numbers and letters, with the word black screen embedded in the text. As usual, my curiosity killed me. I decided to try opening the link on my old computer. When I clicked, the browser froze for a few seconds, then opened a completely black page. There was no text or images, just a faint static sound like something from an old TV. I felt like the site wasn't working. But suddenly a white message appeared on the screen. "You've been chosen, reply with your name." My heart pounded, but I thought it must be a prank. I typed Ahmed while laughing and said to the camera I was filming, "See, it looks like an empty website." When I pressed enter, the screen went black again, and seconds later a video appeared. It showed a dark room with a desk and a chair. No one was in the room, but the camera was moving slowly, as if someone were filming. Suddenly, I heard a whisper. "Ahmed, you're here." My heart stopped. How did he know my name? I immediately closed the website and turned off my computer. But what happened next made me realize I'd opened a door that shouldn't have been opened. Part 2, the anonymous messages. The next day, when I opened my email on my main computer, not my old one, I found a message with no sender name. The subject was, "Welcome to the game." Inside the message was a new link and a single sentence. "Don't close the screen." At that moment, I felt like I was in a horror movie. I tried to ignore the message, but I started noticing strange things. Every time I opened a website, the screen would glitch, and the word black screen would appear for a few seconds and then disappear. Even my phone started to freeze, and every time I opened the camera, I'd see a shadow in the background, but when I looked behind me, nothing. 2 days later, I received another email. This time, it included a photo. It was of me sitting in front of my old computer, recording video on the dark web. The problem was that my camera wasn't connected to the internet, and no one was home. I wrote to the sender, "Who are you? How did you get this picture?" The response was immediate. "You started the game. If you stop, you lose." After that, the email disappeared from my inbox, as if it had never existed. I decided to return to the Deep Echoes forum to see if anyone knew anything about the link, but the forum was gone. Not just the post, the entire forum had disappeared from the dark web. I tried searching for user_x, but there was no trace of him. At that moment, I began to feel like I'd fallen into something big. Introduction, the nightmare continues. I reached level 10, and in the final video, I saw myself tied to a chair, and the screen read, "The game never ends." Since that day, I've been living in terror. Every time I turn on my computer, or even my mobile phone, I feel like there are eyes watching me. But what happened next was much worse. Get ready, because this story will take us on a deeper journey into the dark web and show you that this game is much more than just a link. I thought I was done when I reached level 10, but I discovered that was just the beginning. In March 2025, a month after the last video, I began to feel like I wasn't alone, even in my Chicago apartment. The weather was bitterly cold, and snow covered the streets outside, but the real horror was within the screens around me. Today, I'll tell you what happened when I decided to confront the game and try to find the architect, the person who designed this nightmare. Part 1. The new message. After watching the last video in the basement, I decided to turn off every device in the house, my old computer, my main computer, my phone, and even my TV. I thought that if I cut off any internet connection, the game would stop. But one night in March, while I was sleeping, I heard a faint static sound coming from my study. I woke up, terrified, to find my old computer turned on by itself. The screen was black, and there was a white message, "Level 11, find the eyes." My heart pounded. I typed on the keyboard, "I'm done. I don't want to play anymore." But the screen responded, "You can't quit. The eyes are watching." Then a video appeared. The video showed an apartment exactly like mine, but filmed from strange angles, from the ceiling, from the window, and even from inside the bathroom mirror. I felt like I was being watched everywhere. The video ended with the message, "Check your closet." I returned to the room and carefully opened the closet. Inside I found a small camera similar to a surveillance camera connected to a strange wire. I'm sure this camera hadn't been there before. When I opened the camera, I discovered it had been recording me since the game started. Every movement I made, even while I was sleeping, was being recorded. I felt like I was going crazy. I decided to break the camera, but when I tried, I heard a whisper from the computer, "The eyes don't break." I knew I had to find the architect, the game's creator, if I wanted to stop this nightmare. I went back to the dark web and opened all the forums I knew, the Black Depths, Game Survivors, and others. I found an old thread on a forum called Dark Truths, written by someone named xplayer_99. The thread talked about eternal game and said that the architect wasn't just one person, it was an entire network using the game to monitor and control people. He wrote that he tried to escape, but the game caught up with him, and that those playing had to reach level 20 to be freed. I tried to contact xplayer_99, but his account was deactivated. I started looking for any trace of the architect. I found a link on the same forum to a strange website called The Watchers. The website was a black screen with a webcam recording me live. I felt like my heart was going to stop. I typed in the site's chat, "Who are you? What do you want?" The response came immediately. "You're part of the network now. Level 11, find the others." Part 3, the anonymous group. The message told me I needed to find other people playing the game. I started searching in Chicago for anyone who might have information. I found a group on the regular internet, not the dark web, called Survivors of the Game. I met 3 people in a small cafe downtown. Sarah, a 25-year-old American woman who had been playing the game for a year and had reached level 8. Mike, a 40-year-old man who said he lost his brother to the game, and Adam, a quiet young man who said he had reached level 12. Sarah said the game started when she opened a link in a strange email, and since that day, she has been seeing cameras everywhere in her house. Mike said his brother disappeared after reaching level 10 and that he was trying to find him. Adam was strange. He spoke extra calmly, saying that the only way to stop the game was to reach the core, a place in the dark web that no one knew how to reach. But I sensed that Adam was hiding something. He was looking at my camera in a strange way, as if he knew something I didn't. Part 4, Level 12. After the interview, I received a new email. Level 12. Trust no one. The video in the email showed the same dark room, but this time there were 3 chairs with 3 people tied up. The problem was that their faces looked like Sarah, Mike, and Adam's. I heard the masked man say, "One of them is not what they seem." My heart raced. Was Adam really a player like me, or was he part of the game? I decided to keep an eye on Adam. I followed him out of the cafe and found him entering an old building in the suburbs of Chicago. I followed him, filming with my camera. The building was deserted, covered in dust and with broken windows. On the 5th floor, I found Adam sitting in front of a computer screen, typing strange code. When he saw me, he stood up and said, "Mohammed, you shouldn't have come here." Then, the screen behind him opened on its own, and a message appeared. Level 13. Expose the traitor. Part 5. Betrayal. Adam tried to run away, but I caught him and asked, "Who are you?" He admitted that he wasn't a player like me, he was an observer from the architect, whose job was to monitor players and ensure they completed the game. He told me that the architect wasn't a person. It was an organization that used the dark web to collect data on people and control them. But before he could finish, I heard loud bangs coming from the floor below. Adam and I ran, but I found the main door of the building locked. Suddenly, my camera started recording on its own, and a video appeared on Adam's screen. The video showed Adam and me talking, but from a strange angle, as if there was a camera on the ceiling. The real horror was when I saw a shadow behind me in the video, but when I looked, there was no one. Adam told me, "We have to run before they catch us." But before we could move, the screen read, "You exposed the traitor, level 14. Run." Part 6. Escape and chase. We ran from the building, but I felt like people were watching us from afar. When I returned to my apartment, I found that every device was turned on by itself. My computer, my cell phone, even the microwave was making static. I received a new email, level 14, hide. It included a video showing me running down the street, filmed by a security camera on the street. I felt like I couldn't escape these eyes. I decided to travel to another city, but at the airport I saw a message on the plane's screen, "You can't hide from the eyes." I ran to Chicago and decided to confront the game. I returned to the abandoned building and found a new screen on the 5th floor. The screen read, "Level 15, enter the core." A new link appeared, and when I opened it, I found myself on a strange website filled with codes and videos of people playing the game in different places around the world. The end. The eyes never sleep. Guys, I'm still living in this horror. Every time I try to escape, the game catches up with me. Do you think the Architect is a real organization, or is this just a game in my head? If you were in my place, would you confront the game or escape? Tell me in the comments.